Students, this is the second video of the chapter Why Do You Need a Parliament? And today we are going to discuss a subtopic, that is role of Parliament. Before that we discussed that how the Parliament is composed of different houses. We also discussed that how the parliamentarians are going to get elected through the voting system or through the election. Now in this video we will discuss a specific role of Parliament in different perspective. Here it is written that what is the role of Parliament? So what type of role a Parliament is going to perform? First role is written here that it makes law for the country, or in other words you can tell that it is the supreme law making body. I mean to say that it is the largest, or it is the apex body in terms of rule making or law making for the country. No one is superior to this organization, to this body in terms of rule making. Everywhere in India, the rule, the regulation that is being followed, it is made in the Parliament only, either in Lok Sabha, Raj Sabha, or both. In fact, Raj Sabha, Lok Sabha and the Parliament, these three are the connected bodies of Parliament. And of course, with these approval, with the approval of Lok Sabha, Raj Sabha and President finally, any law is made. So if any law is there in India which is in prevalence in our country, it means that it got the concurrence of the Parliament as a whole. So here it is, first point is written, it is the supreme law making body. Apart from that, you'll have to understand that our Parliament is having 3 sessions only. Summer season or the budget session, after that monsoon session is there, and at last winter session is there. So in all these sessions, the Parliament is going to perform various functions, and particularly it is going to form various laws that are presented by the different authorities in the Parliament or by the different parliamentarians in the Parliament. After the law is formulated, it is passed to different parts of India, and different government, state government is going to follow it. So this is the first and foremost function of Parliament, that it is the supreme law making body and its function is to follow or frame the law. Not to follow but frame the law. And thereafter the state government is going to follow that law in the respective states. Now second point that is written over here, it is that it ensures participation of citizens in decision making process. We all know that decision making process is the exclusive right of our representatives. So basically here our representatives who are inside the Parliament are the real decision maker. But they are backed by the citizens of India. I mean to say, the citizens of India are not going directly for the decision making process, but they authorized their representative to act on the behalf of the citizens. So indirectly, the citizens are going to participate in the decision making process. In a dictatorship or in a non-parliamentary form of government, the different people who are inside the Parliament or who are inside the law-making body, they are going to take the decision as per their own wish. But here in our parliamentary system, as the Parliament is there and it is the elected Parliament, the parliamentarians are going as per the wish of the population or the citizens. So here the thing that is reflected or the laws that is coming out from the Parliament, it is nothing but the wish of the Indian citizens. And in fact, Indian citizens participated in the decision making process indirectly. So this is the second point which is written here, participation of citizens in decision making. It means that the Parliament is going to give the opportunity to the citizens to act indirectly in the decision making process. So this is how the second point is written here. participation of citizens in decision making process. Now, after that, third point is that the parliament controls executive. So what does it mean? We all know that power that is coming from the constitution is distributed among three organs of the government. Legislative, that is the parliament. Second is the executive, that is the government, which is visible. And third is the judiciary, which is going to take decision regarding the validity of the laws. So basically, parliament, that is the legislative body, is having power to control the executive, which is the government. So how it is going to control? So there are various mechanisms, there are various devices which has been given to legislative body or the parliament to control the government. We all know that 545 seats are there inside the parliament. And out of 545 seats, the political party which is going to get majority seats, they are going to form the government in the parliament. I mean to say, out of 445, suppose 300 members are going to get represented from one single party. It means they are in majority. It means they are going to form the government. But out of these 350, only 60 or 70 members will become the part of the government. I mean to say, out of 545, only 60 to 70 members of parliament will form the government. It means the rest of the members will put a restriction or put control on the government. If the government is going in the wrong direction, then here the parliament will control the government, because 545 members minus 60 or 70 members are there. And the total members which are left out, they will control the executive. Now the question is how they will control. The question may arise, then okay, parliament will control, then how it will control? So basically, the parliamentarians which have not got the majority, or the political party which have not got the majority in the parliament, they will sit in the opposition. So they are termed as opposition. So here, role of opposition is very important. Opposition will act as a controller of the government, and government will have to listen, will have to follow the instructions or follow the advice that is given by opposition. So here it is very important. That role of opposition is very, very important. And role of opposition is to control or to check the power of the government, so that government could not become dictator type body. So it is a very important role that is being played by the opposition. Now, in the parliament, the political party which is going to get maximum seats, of course they are going to form the government. So we are going to discuss about the government in detail. Now, as we know that the government is the most important body, because ultimately the government is going to take the decision, the government is going to formulate the laws, government is going to formulate the policy for the better governance of the country. So if the government will be elected in a representative way or in a parliamentary way, of course it will act in that particular way. In other words, the government that is in the power, it will go through the norms or customs that has been established by the parliament. So of course, during the session, during the budget session, during the winter session, or during the summer monsoon session, winter session, monsoon session and budget session, 3 sessions are there in the parliament. So basically the government will definitely go and it will try to pass some important laws, or it will discuss some important topics there that is relevant to the current situation. So here the government is going to play a very important role. So we'll discuss about government in the upcoming videos in great detail. Okay. Now, as I told you, the two forms are there inside the parliament. One is the government, other is the opposition. So those who got the power, out of 545 members in the parliament, 60 to 70% are the member of government, and rest are the members of opposition. They will act as opposition. Generally, opposition means they are going to oppose, they are going to check the government. Got it? So here two important bodies are there. One is government, other is opposition. So opposition role is mainly to check. We already discussed about the opposition. Now, nowadays the trend is that the particular type of parliamentarians, or they are not able to get the maximum votes from the public, or you can, in other words, the majority is not with the parliamentarians or the political parties. So in that case, now a trend is there that the particular government is going to form the coalition government by coming 2 or 3 parties together. So coalition government is now in trend, and the government is going to be formed at the central level, and of course it is going to be represented in the parliament also. So we discuss about it in upcoming videos. Thank you so much.